Lots of conversations going side to side. That means Carole Malone must be here, Neesom must be here. They don't pay any attention to us presenters. They are here to talk about the big story. Can I just ask you both what you thought of Rishi Sunak? I thought he did rather well.
He was quite confident, wasn't he? I mean,
nothing like a victory.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he still seems to lack the courage of his convictions. And
does anybody believe what he says anymore? I mean, you know, the other day he said, you know, I will defy the ECHR. No, he won't. We know he won't.
Well,
and so I think the British people have lost faith.
He's bolstered because we now know in your paper, Malone, the Express, they did a really good piece about this, how Priti Patel went behind the scenes and said, why don't you do this, Prime Minister? Mandate the civil servants to say, you will do it, you will put the pay in, even if the ECHR intervenes. Great, and that brought off a lot of rebels. But can they still make the civil servants do it?
If they can't get the civil servants from their sofas at home into the office, how are they going to make them do that?
Well, I don't know why they can't.
Because 2/3 of them aren't there, most of the time.
Well, I know. And
so how can you force them
to do it? And if they live in the South East, they're still getting the London waiting allowance. Thank you very much.
I think Rishi Sunak is so much better on a Q&A situation like that than he is when he's doing his speech.
He sounds weak.
But we have seen press conferences where he takes the BBC, ITV, one other station, and it's done.
Yeah.
Because he's in a huff and a soul. He did lots of them today. Although he somehow managed to miss GBNews.
Yeah, funny that.
Well, yeah, I think Carole's right, though. I just don't believe a word any of them say now. It's not even a political point. I mean, we're in an election year. It's just all white noise now.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we're going to be talking about the bill in the next half, but I mean, I just think, you know, no one after watching them all fighting like cats in a sack this week, you think, whose side are they on? Are they on our side? Are they on Britain's side? Are they just fighting among each other? And we see that and we disrespect them.
Yeah.
The thing is, as we were saying with Sam Lister earlier, these Tory MPs bopped up and down for 2 days, kicking the what's out of each other. Yeah, they passed all these amendments to try and toughen up the bill, knowing they couldn't be passed because Labour were abstaining.
Yes.
And then they caved in last night, as I predicted they would.
So what
was the point? It was 2 days.
You must know what that's about.
Well, it's posturing in their constituencies. Yeah. And some of them, like Suella Braverman and Robert Jenrick. Robert Jenrick, he's the latest who thinks he could be Tory leader. Oh, my God.
I saw him.
If he walked down High Street, nobody would recognise him.
I mean, Patrick Christie's did a great interview with him the other night, and he was posturing to be Prime Minister. He's had a haircut to try and make him look like
He's a haircut. He's lost weight.
You know what? You're so right, Andrew, because so many of these MPs standing in this election are actually detaching themselves to some degree from the Conservative
They probably won't even say Conservative in their election literature.
That's right. They're not putting Rishi Sunak on their literature.
They're distancing themselves from the constituents bit because, as we saw from that big poll this week, 9 out of 10 constituencies want immigration limited or stopped.
Only 9 out of 10?
Well, I mean, that was the poll, but I suspect it's probably more.
But also people routinely underestimate them, how many people are here. There was a poll last week saying that most people think it's about 10% of what it truly is in terms of immigration. That's legal immigration. Right, done. Let's move on. Yeah. Kate and Charles, the King and the Princess of Wales are on the front page.
Are we not?
No, we're not going to speculate what's wrong with her, because we've been asked not to.
No, and I don't think
it's unusual, isn't it, to be in hospital for 2 weeks? Yeah. Isn't it?
If you're only 42. It's quite major surgery, and good luck to her. I don't think we should. I wouldn't want anyone speculating on medical treatment I was having. So
I wonder why they've said abdominal surgery, though. They've sort of given a little bit of detail. I think they should have either said nothing or told us what it is, because if it is something that people want to talk about, King Charles is doing a good job of raising awareness of prostate issues. Yes. Maybe there's something that she could have told us. I don't know.
I think maybe they weren't even more vague because you'd have even more speculation. Maybe. I think they had to narrow it down slightly. And obviously, you know, we know she had problems during her pregnancies. I'm not speculating here, but, you know, you think, OK, fine, you know, it's quite serious what she's going through. She needs to recuperate. Fine, let her get on with it. I think it's very important, though, that King Charles has raised awareness of prostate and enlarged prostate and prostate cancer.
Very important.
1 in 8 men suffer from that, and men are still not getting checked.
But it is interesting. It's a sign of the times, isn't it, that a 73-year-old man who
He's 75 now.
75, I beg your pardon, 75, is sharing details of a prostate op. You know, 10 years ago it would have been inconceivable to share something this personal, this private. But, you know, he's almost, I'm sure he's been advised, and we were told he's very keen to share details, but he's weaponising it for the good, let me say. He's weaponising what's happening to him for the good to encourage more people to go, which is a fantastic thing, but it just shows how committed he is to kind of modernising the monarchy, if you like.
And Malone, go back just a couple of years, the palace did not behave well when the Queen was in hospital. They kept the royal standard flying over Buckingham Palace, which implied she was in residence. And they eventually admitted she was in hospital. You shouldn't lie No. All right, you don't have to put it in the public domain, but don't lie about it.
Just go back to Kate a minute there. What I wanted to say was that, the reason I think people are so shocked is because we had a queen, this is why I'm bringing it up, that for many decades hardly ever went to hospital. And that's why this is so shocking that Kate at 42 has been admitted for something so serious that...
And in for 2 weeks.
That for 2 weeks, you're never in hospital. Even the private hospitals don't keep you for 2 weeks. And to be off work for the next 2 months is a lot of time. William has cancelled his entire diary for this to be there. So it's not something simple.
So who said was the thing? Bev said, should we send for Meghan and Harry to step into the breach? No!
How desperate are we?
Bev's got a theory, but we can't say now because you said no speculation.
No, we're not speculating.
Well, I don't know why.
Would you want it if you were in hospital? No, you don't want that speculation.
Because we don't know.
She might be, princess, but I mean, I think she's a mum, she's a wife, she's a woman.
Well, you say that, but Charles has spoken. He's let it be known what's wrong with him.
But
But he's the king.
But that's his choice. He's the king, and that is his choice.
She has said...
Look, they didn't tell us. She's been in day 3. We only found out yesterday afternoon.
Yes,
because obviously it was going to come out.
Yes.